For years now, talk show hosts, people on television, people in sitcoms have been hired by the government to distract you, to make you laugh, make you happy and docile, so you don't know what's really going on.
And at a certain point, I realized, hey, wait a second, if it's so easy to lose Jim Carrey, who the hell is Jim Carrey?
I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower. I'm sick and tired of the secrets and the lies. It is the secret symbol of the Illuminati.
Looks like Jim Carrey is finally ready to spill the beans and stand up for his fellow celeb, Katt Williams. Word on the street is that Carrey's had enough of keeping quiet about why Hollywood's giving Williams a hard time. But why is he stepping up now? Could it be that Carrey's had his own run-ins with the industry big shots and he's had it up to here? Jim Carrey has really gone out on a limb to expose the shady side of the industry. He's risked it all to drop hints about what's really going on, like how the Illuminati supposedly pulls the strings in our lives and scripts our every move. Fans of Carrey swear that after he spoke up, they basically strong-armed him into retiring and disappearing. Let's face it, Jim Carrey's always been a fascinating dude with his fair share of eccentric moments in his career. He's not afraid to talk about the industry and this whole Illuminati business, which makes you wonder if he's trying to clue us in on what's really going down behind the scenes. The news of Jim Carrey's retreat from the limelight since his Hollywood exit has sparked worries among his pals. This guy used to be the life of the party, but now he's apparently holed up in self-isolation, looking like a ghost of his former self ever since he shifted gears to focus on art back in 2022.
Yeah, we're important, and you're supposed to say it's all going to be all right, and you're supposed to say that, whatever you dream.
During a recent rare sighting at his 62nd birthday celebration earlier this month, Carrey was observed looking disheveled and hardly recognizable. This has prompted friends to step in and extend their support, especially considering his rumored struggles with failed relationships over the years, which are believed to have taken a toll on him. The star of Dumb and Dumber, renowned for his vibrant energy and comedic talent, is reportedly causing concern among his close friends due to his increasingly reclusive lifestyle, leading to worries about his well-being.
I do believe in manifestation, power of that kind of stuff, but I don't believe that any of it matters. This mattering is to me a...
On his 62nd birthday, observed on January 5th, Jim Carrey made a rare public appearance looking disheveled and hardly recognizable, prompting his friends to gather around him to offer support. According to a source cited by the National Enquirer via Radar Online, the comedian has been spending time in Hawaii and is hiding away, showing very little interest in anything Hollywood has to offer. The insider expressed concern, stating, "It's a big worry for the many folks who care about Jim, who's had some seriously rough moments these past few years." The source added that Carrey tends to self-isolate and withdraw. Observing Carrey's appearance, the insider remarked that the former actor seems to have taken a beating, both physically and mentally. The concerns about Jim Carrey's well-being stem from his decision to step away from his Hollywood career as an actor-comedian and focus on pursuing art. In March 2022, the Ace Ventura star disclosed to Access Hollywood that he was probably retiring from acting. Carrey explained, "Well, I'm retiring, yeah, probably. I'm being fairly serious. It depends. If the angels bring some sort of script that's written in gold ink that says to me that it's going to be really important for people to see, I might continue down the road, but I'm taking a break." He further expressed, "I feel like, and this is something you might never hear another celebrity say as long as time exists, I have enough. I've done enough. I am enough." This shift in focus towards personal fulfillment through artistic endeavors seems to have prompted concern among his friends about his well-being and lifestyle. Jim Carrey's journey in the entertainment industry has indeed been marked by both success and personal challenges. Despite his fame and acclaim for comedic roles in films like Liar, Liar, Bruce Almighty, The Mask, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Dumb and Dumber, and The Cable Guy, he has faced difficulties throughout his career.
We usually don't pick up hitchhikers, but I'm gonna go with my instinct on this one. Saddle up, partner.
Carrey has showcased his versatility by also taking on serious roles, receiving praise for his performance in films like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, where he starred alongside Kate Winslet. Early in his career, Carrey faced the hardships of the industry, working under the guidance of popular comedian Rodney Dangerfield, who played a pivotal role in helping him explore the world of comedy and realize his potential. His climb to superstardom during the 1990s included notable work on the TV show In Living Color.
And said to him, "You have the perfect persona, the perfect comedic persona. I mean, I have, I'm cheap and all this, but the no respect thing gets to the core.
When Jim Carrey embarked on his journey into the entertainment industry, he quickly realized the formidable challenges that lay ahead. Chronicled by the New York Times, the actor and comedian faced a protracted and arduous struggle to ascend to stardom. Over nearly a decade, he dedicated himself to performing comedic acts wherever he could, striving to be recognized and taken seriously in the industry. In candid reflections, Carrey shared, "For years, I used to drive up to Mulholland Drive every night and look at the city and sit and imagine myself with all this money and being sought after. Contrary to a desire for material wealth, his primary aspiration was excellence in his craft." Recalling a pivotal moment at the age of 15 when his father secured him a gig at a Toronto comedy club, Carrey acknowledged facing initial failure, getting booed off the stage in a polyester suit that clashed with the crowd's preferences. Undeterred, he made a comeback 2 years later with a more authentic performance, abandoning the suit for a messy-haired, relatable approach. At the age of 19, Carrey shifted his focus to Los Angeles, tirelessly honing his skills until catching the attention of industry heavyweights such as Sam Kinison and Rodney Dangerfield, eventually securing coveted television roles. Jim Carrey's journey to success was marked by formidable challenges and numerous rejections in his pursuit of a career in the entertainment industry. The hurdles he faced were evident in instances such as his attempt to join Saturday Night Live, SNL, where he encountered immediate rejection. According to Insider, Carrey's audition tape for SNL never even made it to the executive producer, Lorne Michaels. Michaels, in a statement to Vanity Fair, confirmed that he never had the chance to personally review Carrey's audition tape. He explained, "Somebody who was there said, 'I don't think Lorne would like it,' and they were probably wrong, but it doesn't matter. Or maybe they were right. Who knows? No one gets it all right." Thankfully, Carrey became successful nonetheless. He harbored no ill feelings against the show or its makers, and he has hosted SNL 3 times and was also a part of the show's 40th anniversary episode in 2015.
Enjoy the reunion, you know?
Can you really enjoy a reunion? Come on.
You are so crazy, Jim Carrey!
Even as he was starting to make his mark in Hollywood, Jim Carrey had to learn to live with a massive sense of personal loss. He lost both his parents in a relatively short span of time, his mother in 1991 and his father in 1994. Carrey revealed in 2014 that his father indirectly helped him follow his dreams. Carrey's father was immensely talented and could have shone in the entertainment industry, but was too afraid to take that risk. "So many of us chose our path out of fear disguised as practicality," Carrey explained via ABC News. "My father could have been a great comedian, but he didn't believe that was possible for him. So he made a conservative choice and instead he got a job as an accountant." Years later, his father faced a critical juncture when he lost his job, compelling him to reassess his options. Jim Carrey reflects on this period as a valuable lesson, realizing that even seemingly secure choices can lead to failure. He emphasizes the importance of embracing failure while pursuing one's true passions. For Carrey, that meant pursuing acting and comedy, a decision rooted in genuine love for the craft. Moreover, Jim Carrey is no stranger to battling mental illness. His characters on screen are known for making people laugh, but the actor has privately fought depression for a long time, seeking professional help to cope with his symptoms. Carrey spoke about his journey in 2004 in a conversation on 60 Minutes. "I was on Prozac for a long time. It may have helped me out of a jam for a little bit, but people stay on it forever. I had to get off at a certain point because I realized that, everything's just okay," Carrey said. Despite being an incredibly talented, versatile actor, it would be fair to say that Jim Carrey has seen his fair share of ups and downs in his career. Acting has definitely taken a back seat over the last few years, but Carrey hasn't forgotten his love for the craft. One of his fans wrote, "He lost his parents at his peak, but that didn't stop him. Every performance this guy did is comedy gold. Was amazing in drama too." Another one added, "He took his sorrow and turned it into our joy. That's a beautiful life. There'd be no 90s without Jim Carrey's humor." And same goes with Katt Williams. People believe that Jim may have found empathy and may have related to him. That is why he felt it necessary to speak about this. Katt Williams is stepping up big time as a whistleblower, pulling back the curtain on the dark truths lurking beneath the glitz and glam of Hollywood. He's not backing down, dropping bombshells left and right that are rocking the entertainment scene to its core.
And the fact of the matter is, we watched this get right in front of our own face. And the knew it was finna happen. He told us and we didn't know.
Alongside spilling the beans on the supposed conspiracy swirling around Michael Jackson's death, Katt Williams hasn't shied away from tackling another important issue: the way Black actors are often pigeonholed into roles that involve wearing feminine attire in the entertainment. He's not afraid to speak his mind about the industry's stereotypes and injustices.
And it might also be said that there's nothing funnier than a black guy in a dress. Okay, well.
Katt Williams isn't one to tiptoe around touchy subjects, even if they make some folks squirm. And it seems like his boldness has rubbed certain corners of the industry the wrong way. There have been plenty of signs pointing to Hollywood trying to give Katt the cold shoulder because he refuses to water down his message.
Why? Because you know ain't nobody gonna sleep with him. You only got Tiffany Haddish. She been doing comedy since she was 16.
It's often said that you really got to be in the thick of it to grasp how an industry operates. And comedian Katt Williams has definitely given us some food for thought on this front. He's dropped some intriguing hints that suggest Tiffany Haddish's journey to stardom might not have been as organic as she's made it out to be. Seems like there might be more to her story than meets the eye.
Those are just facts, sir.
How many is that total?
9.
So you've done 9
Yes.
filmed comedy stand-up specials.
Without ever getting financed or having a deal.
According to the seasoned comedian, it seems like Haddish might have taken a shortcut to the top in showbiz. If you've ever had doubts about whether her public persona matches up with reality, this revelation is definitely worth paying attention to. We've heard plenty of stories about celebs living double lives, but Haddish's rapid rise seems to stand out. Katt Williams didn't hold back in spilling all the details in his disclosure.
Did you think she wrote Girls Trip?
Right.
Or do you think that was already a script and they handed it to her? It's up to you, whatever you want to believe.
During a recent chat on V103's Frank and Wanda in the Morning Show, Katt Williams really let loose, dishing out his opinions on a bunch of fellow comedians like Lil Rel Howery, Jared Carmichael, Kevin Hart, and Hannibal Buress. But it was Tiffany Haddish, the rising star from Girls Trip, who ended up catching the most flack from him.
I'm the introduction to Tiffany Haddish.
Katt Williams, who snagged an Emmy for his guest spot on Atlanta, didn't mince words when he cast doubt on Tiffany Haddish's achievements. He hinted that Haddish might not be the brains behind her comedy material and questioned if she's truly earned her stripes as a comedian. He threw down the gauntlet saying, "You can't tell me your favorite Tiffany Haddish joke." Why? Because she ain't done a tour yet. She ain't done a special. She has not proven the ability to tell jokes back to back for an hour to nobody. But when Wanda Smith, the show's host, stepped up to defend Haddish, Katt Williams fired back with a thought-provoking question. When did being real become a marketable trait? He even hinted that Hollywood's fondness for Haddish might be influenced by her public crush on Brad Pitt. In the midst of it all, Williams made sure to give props to several other black female comedians like Luanell, Melanie Camarco, and Miss Laura, shining a light on their talent and contributions to the comedy world.
Why? Because you know ain't nobody gonna sleep with him. You only got Tiffany Haddish. She been doing comedy since she was 16.
Katt Williams didn't stop at just questioning Tiffany Haddish's rise to the top. He went even deeper, suggesting that her path to landing deals and roles might have been a little too smooth, hinting that she might have had to make some compromises along the way to reach her status. Furthermore, he didn't hold back in highlighting what he sees as a systemic issue in the industry: the tendency to overlook black talent and limit black actors' opportunities to showcase their full range of abilities. He pointed out a glaring disparity in opportunities compared to their white counterparts, emphasizing the need for more equity and recognition in Hollywood.
They gonna let you be a star, Lil Rel, but you ugly. And white people don't believe in ugly stars. They think you have to be somebody that women want to sleep with and men want to be.
It seems like Katt Williams' remarks about Tiffany Haddish and her crush on Brad Pitt were actually based on some truth. Haddish has openly talked about her admiration for Pitt in the past, even sharing a humorous encounter with him in an elevator. She didn't hold back when discussing the possibility of a future romance, adding some comedic flair to the situation. During another chat with Kelly, after her appearance at the Oscars, Haddish played a game where she revealed she wouldn't choose to marry Brad Pitt. This suggests that her admiration for Pitt may have been more playful than serious. What Katt Williams seemed to be driving at in his expose on Haddish was that her career really took off when she embraced self-expression rather than being objectified. It's clear he sees her success as being linked to her authenticity and talent rather than just her admiration for a Hollywood heartthrob.
But because we black, they say, oh, you don't even deserve that. So you get Kevin Hart, Lil Rel, Gerard Carmichael, all in a row, Hannibal Buress, just dudes that no woman would talk to.
Before Tiffany Haddish became a household name, she faced some serious hurdles in her career. Getting spots in comedy clubs was a real struggle, and landing acting gigs wasn't wasn't any easier. She's been candid about the tough times, telling TMZ, "I lost everything. All my gigs are gone." There's also been some controversy surrounding her past. She was questioned about a lawsuit that alleged she and comedian Ari Spears were involved in some questionable comedy skits with an underage girl and her brother. These sketches reportedly depicted some pretty inappropriate stuff, like an underage girl mimicking a certain act on a sandwich and another sketch involving inappropriate fantasies.
The Tiffany Haddish thing, has that been worked out at this point?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much? Can we talk about it?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Haddish was super relieved when they dropped the lawsuit and made sure to say she was worried about the kids caught up in it. After that mess, it seemed like she couldn't catch a break in Hollywood, like she was totally shut out. But then things started looking up when she got mixed up in the whole Brad Pitt scene. Suddenly, her career started picking up again.
Are you and Tiffany still good?
Yeah.
Okay, so she doesn't hold anything against you in terms of...
I mean,
She participated in the whole thing, so it's not like she could, but I'm just saying, you know how people get.
So, in another interview, this time with Jamal Finkley on his YouTube channel, Black Tree, Katt supposedly spilled more beans about that whole dress-wearing thing you've probably heard about. He talked about Kevin Hart rocking a dress in his SNL skit, but made it clear that Kevin wasn't the only one in on it. Katt said Eddie Murphy and Jamie Foxx were right there with him, which some folks find pretty controversial in showbiz.
Let's be very, very clear. It is possible that there isn't anything funnier than a guy in a dress.
Katt highlighted the irony in the fact that a significant portion of the audience found it amusing to witness a black man wearing a dress. He believed that this reaction would not have been the same if the individuals involved were of a different racial background.
If that's the case, then it might also be said that there's nothing funnier than a black guy in a dress.
Even though Kevin Hart's already a big star, Katt dropped a hint that Kevin probably had his own reasons for doing those kinds of roles. But he also showed some respect for Kevin's choices in that area.
At the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him.
Williams carefully suggested that he had observed numerous artists encountering similar challenges repeatedly throughout their careers. Given Williams' observations, one might suspect that there could be a discreet effort to undermine the public image of black icons by certain individuals or entities.
Yeah. I've never seen Madea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next.
In addition to his previous revelations, Williams exposed the existence of a secret society called the Illuminati, which he claimed faces significant opposition from within the black community. The implication here is that The Guardian, by indirectly corroborating his claims and revealing the society's name and some of its prominent members, has lent credence to his assertions about this secretive organization. He said, "It is the most elite club in the world. This is the Good Club, the name given to the tiny global elite of billionaire philanthropists. The names of some of the members are familiar figures: Bill Gates, George Soros, Warren Buffett, Oprah Winfrey, David Rockefeller, and Ted Turner. But there are others too, like business giants Eli and Edith Broad, who are equally wealthy but less well known." While Williams disclosed significant aspects of the agenda he believed to have originated from the elites, he issued a warning to fellow black artists, advising them to exercise caution and be wary of the potential influence or involvement of this secretive club.
It's not necessary for us to stir up that hornet's nest unless we intend.
While it may sound somewhat exaggerated, the pimp emphasizes that his intended audience should heed his advice because he believes he has a deep understanding of the situation, having allegedly experienced the consequences of this supposed manipulation for many years.
So I didn't understand that. They had to sting me a million times. I'm still not going to join, but I respect it a little more.
According to Katt, he wasn't the sole individual dealing with challenges and adversity, which is why he felt it was necessary to let go of certain matters for the sake of his own well-being.
I don't really know how to complain because all of the people that I ever looked up to had to go through it too. So I know how much they talked about Martin Luther King, and I know what they end up doing to him. I know this same story about Jesus and a few of my uncles.
After going through tough times for a while, Williams said he had a big wake-up call. He realized that speaking his mind and being honest about his grievances got him a ton of backlash. He didn't expect it to be so harsh, but it opened his eyes. He now gets that what he thought was just being truthful might have been seen as reckless, and it was getting twisted against him, supposedly with the Illuminati lurking in the background, benefiting from the chaos.
So that doesn't mean I always make the right decisions, but I am gonna stand by what I stand for.
Indeed, Katt, known for his fearless approach, disclosed that he was privy to the true story of Bernie Mac and did not hesitate to share the industry's supposedly closely guarded secrets surrounding this matter.
I know that the people that made money off Bernie Mac didn't like him. They hated his guts.
Katt's revelation about his former idol may come as a surprise to some, but the next revelation is even more shocking. He claimed that Steve Harvey, everyone's favorite, has allegedly sold his soul to Hollywood.
Steve Harvey, some stand-up man. I'm a kiss old girl who owned TV One. He used to kiss her. That's how he had the rating.
It's undeniable that Katt Williams is widely regarded as one of the funniest comics of his generation, known for his unfiltered humor and energetic performances in blockbuster stand-up specials. However, despite his talent and ranking among Hollywood's comedy greats, Williams hasn't received the same level of mainstream exposure as some of his contemporaries. One of his supporters said, "Unlike Kevin Hart, he hasn't taken on leading roles in blockbuster movies, and he doesn't host a show like Steve Harvey. Being hopeless," he once even said, "I'm just going to go ahead and announce my retirement from stand-up. I'm kinda done. I've already discussed it with my kids. I wasn't really going to do it on a Seattle street. I was going to Los Angeles and do it in the offices of ICM or Live Nation." For some time, there was speculation that Williams had been blacklisted from the industry, which led to questions about why he hadn't achieved the same level of success as figures like Steve Harvey. It's worth noting that Williams and Harvey haven't been on good terms for over a decade, and there seems to be a significant reason behind their strained relationship.
Well, you know, to be honest with you, Frankie, I didn't know nothing about this concept. When the promoter told me about it in October, I shot it down, because that ain't how I've ever promoted a show.
To trace the origins of their feud, we need to go back to December 2008, when Katt Williams called out Steve Harvey before a Christmas season show. This incident marked the beginning of their conflict, which has persisted for over a decade. Katt Williams and Steve Harvey have certainly had their share of disagreements with other comedians, and this instance was no exception. Even one of his fans wrote, "Katt and Steve are both powerhouse comics of the modern era. That being said, I have never wholeheartedly invested all my confidence in Hollywood celebrities. People are people, and at some point will exhibit our imperfections. I take them all with a grain of salt so that my disappointment's minimal." Another one added, "You know this interview and his eye movement says that he is deceitful. He mentioned Bernie and the Kings saying he'd been around some real cats, but he failed to mention Bernie confided in him about the rooms and basement, and what was offered he turned it down, confided in Steve, and Steve snitches to the bosses, and then Bernie was hospitalized and died. So it all kicked off when Katt Williams threw down the gauntlet at Steve Harvey, saying he could outshine him as the comedy king during an upcoming New Year's Eve gig where they were both top billing."
I was on the Steve Harvey show, and Steve Harvey, who was going to call in at 5:45 and get the straight.
Apparently, Jamie Foxx got pulled into the mix too. He was hosting a radio show back then and played a clip of Katt Williams dissing Steve Harvey, which probably poured fuel on the fire between the two comedians. Williams didn't hold back, warning Harvey before their joint gig that he was about to dethrone him as the king of comedy. Steve Harvey, taken aback, called into the radio show to express his confusion about the whole thing.
You know, I've always been on tour with some real man. I toured with the Kings. You know, I've been on stage with Sid, DL, and Bernie Mac at the same time.
When the big showdown finally happened, Katt Williams didn't hold back one bit. He took jabs at Steve Harvey's comedy reputation, poking fun at everything from his clothes to his hair. Addressing the crowd, Katt likely had some sharp and hilarious remarks about Harvey during his performance. He even gave Harvey props, saying he's one of the best, but suggesting he wasn't ready for the battle that night. Katt didn't have an easy ride to fame and fortune. He had to hustle hard, starting from the ground up in Avondale, Cincinnati. He toured all over, from the bustling streets of Oklahoma to the lively stages of Oakland, perfecting his craft through sheer determination and guts.
And act like ain't happened. You in the middle of a goddamn meeting. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the movie with you, and then we're gonna go back.
When it comes to Steve Harvey, most folks see him as a dedicated family guy who puts his loved ones first. But Katt Williams apparently sees through all that and calls him out as a fake, saying Steve's been hiding his real self behind a polished image for ages. According to Katt, people's opinions on Steve's comedy skills are all over the map, which just adds more layers to their complicated relationship and how Harvey's seen by the public.
You have been the king of comedy as long as we've had one. Matter of fact, the whole phrase, king of comedy, can be attributed that you get off stage.
Absolutely, Katt Williams isn't just known for his comedy chops. He's also earned a reputation as a Hollywood whistleblower. He's not afraid to speak up about the issues and controversies lurking in the entertainment, shining a light on stuff that often gets swept under the rug.
A doing in the ATL, at least excuse himself, go to the bathroom or something.
According to Katt Williams, Steve Harvey's reputation isn't all sunshine and rainbows, despite what some might think. Depending on who you ask, Harvey is either praised as one of the funniest folks around or seen as a celeb with a sketchy rep. He's called out plenty of big names who put on a front of being good people, but according to Katt, if you dig deeper into their lives, they're far from it. That's a wrap for today. Catch you in the next video. Until then, take care and goodbye.